What happens when you crossbreed a heavy tank to a medium? Well, the T95E6 is about as close as you're going to get. The Stritzvon K is what happens when you turn a medium into a heavy, as the Stritzvon K features only 350 damage per shot. It is literally a medium tank gun on a heavy tank hull. The T95E6 is kind of the other way around. It's a heavy tank that was fitted with a super powerful engine that doesn't feature all that much armor. It's almost a medium tank's profile with a heavy tank gun. But there's some upsides to that. First of all, because it is a heavy, it features 2,438 hit points, meaning that you can very easily take shots against enemy mediums without really worrying too much about your overall health. As well, unlike the Stritzvon K that features 350 alpha, the E6 features a nice rounded 400. That means you can very easily deal with mediums or even a lot of heavies that you end up fighting. Not only does it have 400 alpha, but it also features really solid damage per minute at 2,945, features great penetration at 271 on the standard, 374 on the premium, so it's got a great gun there. Dispersion's decent at 0.326, it's got a decent aiming time at 3.4 seconds. It's just a really good tank overall when it comes to the gun. This vehicle also features 10 degrees of gun depression and a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour, allowing the E6 to feature the highest power to weight and top speed for any heavy in tier 10. Now, not only does it have all these crazy things going for it, but it also has a very secretive mechanic, and that is its camouflage value. We can see the vehicle features a 24% concealment rating while still, and an 18.7% concealment rating while moving. If we compare that to the, for example, Stritzvon K, with the same equipment and everything, the Stritzvon only features 13.5% while still, and 7.57% while moving. That is absolutely dreadful when you compare it to the E6. It is half the overall camo. What that means is that with the T95E6, you can actually sit inside of a bush and mediums aren't going to spot you very easily. With the Stritzvon K sitting behind a bush, any mediums or lights that have decent view range should easily spot you once they're pretty close. That is a bit of a downside for the Stritzvon and a pretty big upside for the E6. We can see here the E6's 50 km/h top speed is very easily achieved, although that's a bit cringe, I'm not gonna lie. That's a whole bunch of death. Now we got the 183 spotted in the back. We gotta wait for our aiming time, but once it's aimed in, we get a nice 385 damage shot. If you want my honest opinion, this game is it's a loss. I mean, run 57. Oh boy. Oh crap. I don't even know what to say. This is a disaster, because if I try to run, I really can't at this point, due to the fact that that leopard's holding me. Plus, we got like the FE4202, who apparently our shell did not end up penetrating. Oh boy, this is terrible. Alright, well, let's see if we can get another shot into that 183 really quick. There you go, another nice roll for 420. At this point, I'm really trying to figure out what the best decision I can make is, and I'm kind of thinking it's to bail. The 57's obviously going to die, so if I can get out of here, that'll be the smartest decision I can make. Thankfully, we were able to play this correct. The 183 died, so we had no possibility of being nuked, and all we need to do now is keep on going wide into the water. This is a great example of where the mobility on this tank is insanely good. I mean, even a Stritzvon K, I most likely would have used my speed boost to get over there, which means I would not have been able to get out nearly as well. Plus, because I've got so much camo on my tank, I can very easily cross this opening here without even worrying about being spotted. So you can very easily see some of the major advantages the Stritzvon not the Stritzvon, sorry, the E6 features over a vehicle like the Stritzvon. We did end up getting spotted, but not before we were able to bonk that enemy FE4202. We're not at a lot of damage this game. We're really not at any damage, to be fair, only about 1,200, but the shots we put in were quite important at clearing the FE2 and 5B183. And not only that, but we were able to basically halt the enemy advance with, the demise of our T57 Heavy, but still some help from him, so not a bad result at all. The Leopard is pushing over towards our E100, and same for the 60 TP. So once again, I'm going to use that good mobility this tank has and make our way over to the 60. There you go. Great shot into his vehicle. Unfortunately, we can see that that 60 was able to shoot us there, but that's fine. We're going to get a nice, 483 slapper into that Leopard, and just like this, we've already been able to get out a pretty solid chunk of damage. Ah, Ah, that shell was a rather unfortunate one. I'm expecting our U-100 to be able to... Never mind, I lied. I'm going to have to kill this player. There you go. Nice clear. The 60 is no longer looking at us. The other good news is that the 60 should not be able to kill us, even if he does... well, unless he high rolls, but we shouldn't have to worry all too much, especially with the damaged Amarak. You can see, again, that great mobility here, easily able to even out-traverse the 60 TP, which means that his strong frontal armor isn't even going to help him all too much here. Plus, we do have 10 degrees of gun depression, so if the 60 does end up trying to facehug us like he's doing here, we can just cut directly through his tank. So, we've dealt 3,600 damage in this result, and we do end up dying because the 60 does activate tungsten shells, but... as you can see, it doesn't matter. Grill, I hate to break it to you, but you are very useless. Tank destroyers that don't move when your team obviously requires them to move to get extra shots out to support you are some of the most useless tank destroyer players you can have on your team. Thankfully, we were able to use that mobility, high DPM, and great overall characteristics of this tank to actually whip out a 3,670 damage game in a battle that I really didn't think we were going to get much damage out in. So, let's do one more battle here and see if the E6 can do just as well. But you very easily noticed the major strengths of this tank just in that first game. I can tell you for a fact that we probably would not have been able to get out nearly as easily in the Stritzvon, as I said, compared to the E6. So that's one thing I really like about this vehicle. So here we are in our second game. Up against us, what do we have? An E100, IS-7... Okay, well, we're going to start off by making our way... I'm not actually sure where we're going to make our way. I'm kind of thinking to the crossing, far corner, as long as my team supports me. We have a T-100 and Leopard going there. We have another T-100. That's because they're platooning. Okay. Well, for now, we can see the 62A is already spotted off to the side, which means as long as I use my mobility, we should be fine here. I'm not sure why that T-100's running, but, we're going to get up here, and we're going to see if we can spot anybody. Hello? Oh, we got the STB right in front of us. STB is a bit of a cringe tank to fight, especially because it's got so much hull-down armor. What's a little bit more cringe is that my team has kind of left me. They just said, you know what, screw you, I want to get some damage, so I'm going to go farm the mediums rather than actually helping you over here. So, well, I guess we'll see what we can do here. We got the 183 in the back. As I said, again, the team kind of just ditched me here, but we're going to aim it on the 62A. I can't believe that tank hit that on the move. The 62A is not a vehicle known for its accuracy on the move, but unfortunately, it was indeed able to connect that shell. Now, you can see here, this is where actually the armor on the E6 is better than you would expect. Like, we were able to get some bounces from this T-57 Heavy, and not only that, but we were able to bonk 2 shells into his vehicle. The Badger is holding the best he can here, and I'll give him some credit. He's doing a pretty solid job. We're going to push off to the side of this STB, and this is a great thing about this tank, again, is because I've got heavy tank hit points, I don't really care trading with that tank. I can very easily just, you know, tank a shell, like tanks are supposed to do, and now we're easily beating that STB in trades. And because the 57 Heavy is such a slow reversing tank, we should also easily be able to aim a shell in on his lower plate. There you go, nice 419 damage. And just like that, the enemy is not doing all too well anymore. Alright, well, let's see if we can get a shot into the Sheridan. There you go. Great shot on the move. Again, you can see where the E6's gun is actually rather enjoyable. So we've been able to do pretty good this game. Let's see if we can hit that. If we did, that would have been absolutely insane. But I, again, really can't complain. If we can get one more shell out, we should be able to get 3,000 damage. It's a bit unfortunate that E100 is getting absolutely beamed, but there you go. 397 damage before the game ended, breaking 3,226 damage. So just like that, you can see where the E6 is just a fantastic vehicle. The mobility, the gun, the damage per minute, everything about the tank is really, really good. And the armor is not terrible. Like, people always try to chalk this tank off as unarmored. It really isn't. The armor is very troll. And I can tell you for a fact that even a lot of skilled players end up bouncing this vehicle because they don't load premium ammo, and they'll either bounce off the upper plate because it's at a weird, funky angle, or they'll shoot at the hatch. And the hatch is sometimes more armored than you think, upwards of 240 millimeters. So if you turn the tank start to the left or the right when people are aiming at your hatch, it can actually cause it to get a decent chunk of bounces like we saw from that 57 Heavy. Either way, not a bad battle at all, finishing top on the team even with 2 try-harding T100, so I really can't complain. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.